everyone, and welcome back to the part 2 of how to make this off-shoulder crop top with a balloon sleeve. For the high slit gathered waist skirt, you can watch the part 1 of this video. I will put the link on the description box below. So before we get started, kindly click the subscribe button. If you have done that, let's get into it. So the width of this fabric is about 35 inches and the length is 17 inches. So I'll be using all of the 35 inches. My bust circumference is 42 inches divided by 2 is 21 inches. So I'll be adding extra 12 inches, that is 33 inches, and I will use the remaining 2 inches for side seam allowance. So I added extra 12 inches to my bust circumference because I want it free. If you want it a bit fitted, you can add 6 to 8 inches to your bust circumference. So I'll be using the elastic tape to get my shape. So now I'll be creating a casing for my elastic. So if you want to fold in 1/2 inch this way before putting your elastic, then you need to leave about 3 inches for the elastic casing. But if you just want to fold it this way, then you need to leave about 2.5 inches for. So I'll go ahead and mark 2.5 inches for my elastic casing. So I'll fold it in this way. And then to get my off-shoulder measurement, I'll minus 5 inches from my measurement. So I'll place my measuring tape this way and mark my armhole measurement, which half of my armhole measurement, which is 8 inches. So to create my armhole, I'll go in by 3.5 inches. You can use 4 inches if you like. So I'll measure 3.5 inches and create my armhole. So I'll use my armhole curve to make a curve from the 2.5 inches. Now I'll also mark these 2.5 inches on the hemline for my elastic casing. So I'm working on the front and the back piece together. So I'll fold it to cut the armhole. So that is that. Now for the sleeve, I'll fold my fabric this way, that is good sides facing each other. So the length of the sleeve I want is 23.5 inches, and this is 25 inches. Then I'll be using the remaining 1.5 inch to hem it for my elastic casing. So the width of the sleeve I want is 12.5 inches. Then I'll be using 1 inch for the side seam allowance. So I'll place this piece on the open edge of the sleeve and cut it out. Now my sleeves are ready. So before attaching my sleeve, I'll take out the front piece because I'll be attaching a flap on the middle of the front piece. I don't know if I should call it a flap. So I'll make sure I iron the front piece so I'll know where the middle is, because I'll be attaching the flap on the middle of the front piece. So the length I'm using is 12 inches. And the width is 3 inches, and I folded both sides. So now I'll place it in the middle of the front piece and pin it. So I'll use a needle to gather it from the 2.5 inches. This way. So after doing that, I'll sew on both sides of the flap. So remember, I'm going to fold in my elastic casing this way. So this is how it's going to come out. After doing that, I will place the front and the back piece together, good sides facing each other, and then I'll sew on the 1 inch I left for side seam allowance. Also on the sleeve, I'll sew the 1 inch I left for sewing allowance. So I've done that, and this is how it came out. Also, this is how the sleeve came out. So I'll be attaching the sleeve. I'll go ahead and pin it down first. I'll make sure these parts are aligned. I'll pin it down. So the next thing is to fold the elastic casing on both the shoulder and the lower part. Then I'll also hem the 1.5 inch I left for elastic casing on the sleeve. So I've done that, and I left a space that I'll pass by elastic tape. So at this point, you can place your elastic on the shoulder and expand it to the length you want. Also on the lower part, that's the under bust or the waist. So after cutting the length of the elastic tape you want, attach a large safety pin to one end of the elastic tape and then pull it through the casing. So I'll be using this small elastic tape on the wrist of the sleeve, so you can just place it on your wrist, and depends on how you want it. If you want it really tight, you can expand it before you cut it, or you can just place it and cut it. Depends on how you want it. So after pulling it through, I'll stitch both ends of the elastic. I'll go and do that and show you how it came out. So this is it. This is how it came out. It came out really nice. So the total length I used for this crop top is 17 inches because I want it to come down a bit. So if you want it like a bra, like you want it not to come down too much, you can use a total length of 12 to 15 inches. So this is how beautiful it came out, and I've gone ahead to stitch the space I left to pass the elastic. So this is how beautiful it came out. So I'm going to try this on, and I'll also put it on the mannequin to show you guys how it came out. So for the high slit gathered waist skirts, watch the part 1 of this video. I'll put the link on the description box below. So I've come to the end of this tutorial. If this was helpful, kindly give it a big thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell. Bye.